to actually kill the front line. You have Ezreal. Ezreal's great, but you were looking at Ezreal Galio as your mid lane and your bot laner against a Mundo and a Zehen. So if Zehen gets ahead, if Mundo is having a good game, as we've seen Skewmon have so many good games on this.
To flash away.
This is going to hurt HourMix. He can't afford to lose these minions, so now On is getting involved in the skirmish.
There's Shun coming across, heal out from On as Skewmon is down to half HP. Cosmic Binding's going to land. Smite comes out from Shun, he secures the red buff, and now LeBron is going to have to flash the wall to get away with the blast cone. Great invade from BLG early on.
Burnt his flash. It looked pretty scary for him, but now HourMix very isolated from the wave.
2 CS right now. LeBron is level 1 as he walks across. Does have the heal. HourMix had to use the cleanse in the bottom lane to escape On and Viper earlier on. On looking for the taunt, will land it. Viper there on the chase further as LeBron with a Cosmic Binding doesn't land a stun. Valkyrie across from HourMix. Viper trying to survive, but Hans will get a 1-for-1 so far. On does have the flash. HourMix looking for the phosphorus bomb. Needs another auto. On flashes away, but Skewmon is coming down. On should be able to get away from this. Currently in that red buff bush. The question is, will Skewmon sneak him out? Lands the cleaver. On has the taunt, and Skewmon flashes to make sure. For Lebrov, HourMix's cleanse about to come off cooldown.
You'll notice as well, Viper has a massive XP lead on Hans as well, just because of how much denial they got in the other game.
Looking for the damage here onto HourMix. He's down to 300 HP, and On still very healthy. Shun is ready for the dive here. Hans has cleanse, has flash, picks up the Caretaker's talent. There's the Aegis Assault, Valkyrie in from HourMix. Shun tanking the tower, only tanks a couple of shots. The spear still connects, the Cosmic Binding onto On, but now he can hold on for the damage. Tanks the tower perfectly. BLG though, Shun gonna tank a couple of shots, and LeBron will get one in response.
Gets a little bit messy there at the end of it, but honestly,
the Krugs are down. LeBron, where's everyone waiting? Magical journey for LeBron, but perhaps more of a nightmare. Able to heal himself up a little bit as HourMix tries to trade back in. Exhaust out. There's the cleanse as well. LeBron down to 200 HP. Skewmon tanking up everyone with a maximum dosage. He has that level 6 because he stole away the top side, but a spear through his heart sends him back to the grave.
Playing Phase Rush, not Aftershock, right? So you're going to be a lot weaker in the 1v1 with the Phase Rush. The Phase Rush is a nod to the fact that it's mostly slows on the other side. The Mundo slows and whatnot, so you can maybe engage, disengage, and Caps just goes between the towers, takes him down.
What? Oh, no, that was nice. Wow. But he changed the cannon. Okay, it was still really.
Against Gwen is, Gwen. It's the Shroud, right? It's how much value you can get from it. All of G2 coming in.
Caps going in for the Justice Punch, blocking Knight's escape. Knight doesn't have the flash, but he does have a hero's entrance, and there's not enough CC.
And I think he's got Trinity Force now, which is such a big spike for him to play the target.
Immediately met by Shun, and there's the Stand United to follow it up. BB doesn't have the flash, no way out. BLG punishing top lane.
It's a repeat of
TP's coming in as G2 are being collapsed upon. BLG looking for the fight. HourMix jumped on by Shun. Does have the flash, won't burn it yet. Flashes away from the spear. Bin now snipping away at LeBron. The needle works, don't quite connect. BB has a flash of his own. He might have to use it to get out. Another spear from Shun behind the tower. Bin still trading in here. BLG. They're looking to make a pincer movement happen. The spear connects through Hans. Another kill. Now Caps TPing in, but BB and G2 can't really collapse themselves quickly enough. Caps jumps across the wall looking for Viper. Shun there on the front line, dashes onto Broken Blade. Oriate rush away as Viper flashes in, gets the kill but bound forward. The dissonance coming in from Caps as he tries to get away, but he's locked on the wrong side of the wall, and BLG, a death baller just A-moving through G2. Skew and BB can't do anything to take down these low members of BLG.
Such a phenomenal
shift over the wall to try to catch the
went in for the taunt. Temper Fate down onto him. Shun and Viper here to defend him for now. As Shun dives onto the backline, HourMix needs to get away from the hero's entrance, manages to do it with the Valkyrie, but with the mid-6 shot hitting, the spear goes through his spine. BLG find another as G2 thought they had got a pick.
Nicely done there from BLG, and they want to keep fighting for more here, but Broken Blade is coming.
Has the dreaded return. Skewmon with the maximum dosage. He's going to heal himself up. Knight trying to get the Justice Punch onto BB, but there's the shutdown onto On. Will the chase continue here for G2? A magical journey? Perhaps not one that we want to take a boarding pass for, as across comes Bin on the chase. Needleworks out, getting the slows onto Skew. Dreaded return across the wall from BB. Skew has to burn his flash to escape the clutches of Bin.
Untouchable. They don't really have the range to go onto him, as you said. It's like very reliant on Caps, and then on top of that, taunt connects.
Goes in for the taunt. There's the follow-up with the CC, and LeBron not given a chance to move. Shun goes unstoppable as G2 try and collapse onto Bin, but with the hallowed return and the TP coming in from Knight, they just can't do it. BB does have a teleport of his own to try and escape this situation, but BLG do not want to give him that luxury. Broken Blade There's no real way out for you. The question is who will be given over the kill. Justice Punch coming down on, looking for the taunt as well as BB's taunted under the tower. Meanwhile, Skumon trading with...
Shunen's just giving him no ability to do that. Shunen on, they don't need gold. They just need to fight.
It's the classic, play safe, bro. He's like, I'm in my half of the rift, buddy. I'm playing bot, and he does his best to get out of there, but there is just too much of a...
Now do have an opportunity to play around that ultimate being down, and they're going to go down towards the bottom lane with the Grand Starfall. GA on Shun, no real escape for BB. Dreaded Return will get the CC, goes in with Grim Deliverance as well, but doesn't have that Cultivation of War passive fully built up. He'll try and stack it on Knight for now. The taunt's going to land, there is the Resurrection, and a TP coming in as well from Bin. I'm not sure his services were required here. Perhaps they just want to give him the kill, as Knight did start his recall. Broken Blade taken down in the end by 3 of BL.
Their third dragon in a minute's time.
The gold lead extends to 6k as they steal away this red buff. Caps looking for the flank, dives in, will land the chains onto On. Viper with the arcane shift, trying to keep Caps at bay as the block caught out with the magical journey going out. He'll land that Temper Fate, but been able to dash away across from it. On in the middle of it, gets away himself as Caps has to get out of the fight. Dreaded Return from Broken Blade towards Shun, but Shun still has that Guardian Angel. And G2, they're trying to pick apart.
Sometimes you just find that one moment. If he can get a pick, if he can get a kill, it could turn the game.
Oh, Ben trying to trade back onto Caps, who dashes back. There's the Stand United, and Shun's on his way as well. Caps doesn't have the flash, torn it up, will dash with the distortion, but there's only a tower waiting for him. Dashes back, misses the chains on. Skumon tries to come across.
Off the map, they set their sights on the Baron, and it's G2 fishing, as they've often done in this game, and BLG going in with nothing but confidence.
Yeah, and it's this TP from Bin coming in behind them as Viper used the exhaust in onto Han, so Caps goes aggressive, but he just gets CC'd up, and once Bin arrives, there is no shot. Hans is pushed immediately out of the fight, even though Broken Blade gets the shutdown, gets the passive stacked. Unfortunately, the Grim Deliverance doesn't really heal him because he's already into that revive. And then look at the CC, it's just never ending. Multiple taunts.
You're ever going to be able to do anything. As Viper looks at Arcane Shift across the wall, the taunt onto Skumon will land as well. Didn't have his passive up as Caps tries to jump onto that backline. But once again, it's On sitting on Viper saying, yes, come in, I'll take the taunt. And we'll go in with the Justice Punch. Grim Deliverance as they try and get the chase on. Caps goes in, but the more shield alongside the hero's entrance, enough to keep Viper alive. And now Hans Summer has to Valkyrie away as BLG continue to chase. Here comes the Starfall, and the star that was Hans Summer falls off the rift. G2 lose another in mid. G not able to get much more than Mundo's ultimate.
I will say a bit of an overcommitment there from BLG. It was fortunate that they had numbers to collapse first.
Temper Fate on Viper. Will they go for the follow-up? There's the Sun Grim Deliverance. On falling low, Viper falls first. And now BLG are the ones on the retreat. Caps trying to get onto that backline. Broken Blade goes for more. His first ever to hand game, and he pulls on back. Bin now snipping through Hans Summer. Caps falling as well as Bin. He's able to get onto the backline, but he's shut down. G2 now in a 3v1 as only the Knight stands. But he bows to Broken Blade.
Wait a minute! What just happened with the gold? And so instead they catch Skumon out, staying way too long to protect that bot tower. They're committed to breaking open this inhibitor, and they're sending everything to find more.
It's a Starfall. Hans Summer cleansed him, Mikhail's away as they look to try and turn it, but BB in the midst of BLG will fall first. BLG now advancing. A small blip in the top side is not enough to fell the kings of the LPL. They want to even out the series as Caps tries to dive in, dashes away from the shield bolt. Now it's on the Brov and Hans. Hans will flash and get the kill on, but BLG have already opened up the Nexus, and although Viper will fall, G2's Nexus will follow him to the